Yo, it's John Lavido here with the monthly update with what's going on, what happened in January 2017, first month of the year. I'm pretty pumped. I hope you're as excited as I am. I think it's going to be an epic year. Anyway, so I've got a couple things here that I'm going to run through on what happened this month and where things are at, why I'm doing things the way I'm doing. So anyway, first thing, the total fan count grew from 315 to 579. So almost doubled the total fans. We're only very small stage at the moment. But it's interesting, right? Imagining how, and you can do this with your own stuff, whatever you're doing. Whether you're doing your own promotion with this band, is you look at like you had a few fans each month, and a few more the next month, a few more the next month, and you see this curve that goes up, and then you can sort of look at it with faith and confidence and kind of go, well, if this is what I did in like 3 months, well, what happens if I just do this for another couple of years? Like, man, I'm like, it's gonna just keep growing up and up and up, right? So it's exciting when you tracking all those kind of numbers. And so some of this came from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. What was interesting though is a whole bunch of people joined the email list, which if you're watching this, you probably came from the email list. And I've said it before, and I'll probably say it again, but I really think that out of all the different things you can track, like Facebook and Twitter and all that, the best thing is the emails. And the reason for that is not that Twitter and Facebook and that stuff doesn't matter. It's just that it's so easy to like someone on Facebook. Whereas if someone goes to your website and signs up to your email list, like that's a pretty good indicator that they're interested in what you're up to. So while I'm going to be tracking everything, the thing that I'll be paying the most attention to is the email list. So that's just something that I'm going to be doing, something to keep in mind moving forward. The next thing, which might sound a bit strange, is I actually wrote out, I'll show you right here, I wrote out by hand songs. So I'd go to Rolling Stone's greatest songs of all time, greatest 500 songs of all time, pick a song. Like here was Wonderwall by Oasis. I don't know if that's on the list, but that's a song that I think is just a great song. So let's see. So I did My Generation by The Who, so like literally writing this out with a pen and paper each day. And so I did 18 songs like that. And you might be wondering, what the hell am I doing that for? Like I'm trying to, I'm not producing songs. Why would I write songs? Or why would I write other people's songs out by hand? And here's the explanation. Back in the, in like the business and marketing world, the thing that worked really well for me was going and getting old advertisements that other people had written from, a long time ago and taking a pen and paper like this and writing them out. It was just such a powerful way for me to learn how to be a good marketer. And I'm applying that to songwriting and to lyrics. And the reason I'm focused on lyrics at the moment and not say production and sound design is because I want to go hit the mainstream. Right? I'm not trying to be some underground avant-garde producer or something like that. I want to make music that millions of people listen to. And so to do that, I think the lyrics and the melody are one of the most, if not the most important thing, they're at least one of the most important elements of this. And the lyrics and the melody and that hook are going to be the thing that makes or breaks that song. So that's why I'm studying. I want to understand why these songs, why the greatest songs of all time are so great, so then I can use those ideas in my own songwriting. Now, the interesting part is I think that even though you've probably hearing this, most people aren't going to do this. Most people are not going to go and get a pen and paper and write this out because I don't believe it works or because it's hard work or whatever. They're just not going to do it. So this to me, and you can think about it this way too if you like, when something is hard work or when something's kind of like, I don't know if I want to do that, it's just sort of, it's in the mood, it's not that fun or whatever, there's an opportunity there because that means that most people aren't going to do it. And this is exactly how I thought when I was doing the business and marketing stuff. I remember thinking like, most people aren't going to do this. So if I do it, I'm going to have a huge advantage over everyone else. And that's exactly the way I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, man, most producers probably think about how do I make a sicker sounding kick, a better 808 or a fatter bass. And those things are important. But I think what happens in the production world, and I'm fairly new to this realm, this whole production world, but what seems to happen is that people get caught up. They forget about what they want, which is the end goal of that dream, where they want to be on stage at Ultra or Tomorrowland or something else. And they fall into this battle with other producers of who can make the cooler sound, who can make the better kick. And that's just not a game. I mean, I don't really want to play it. I'm not interested in trying to compete with other producers. I'm interested in creating songs that lots and lots of people love. So that's how I'm thinking about it. And that's how, I would suggest you thinking about it. And doesn't mean you need to go and do lyrics, but figure out what you want to do and figure out what exercises you can create to address the limiting factor. Maybe it's not lyrics and melody. Maybe it's remaking songs. And I've done that before, and it's such an excellent way to learn how to create a good song, especially if there's take a song you like, you love the production, you love the lyrics, whatever it is, take it, drop it into your DAW and remake it as close as possible, and you'll learn so much. Now the next thing, number 3, the thing I did is I wrote, sang, and produced a new track. So based on the stuff I was learning from the songwriting, I decided to write a song, and obviously wrote it, and I sang on it, which is going to be quite interesting, right? Because I haven't sang in, I think I had singing lessons for, about 3 singing lessons when I was about 14 years old. So yeah, I gave it a shot to try and sing. So we'll see if this works. Yes, and so wrote, sang, and produced it. My rationale for singing as well was also that most people have these cheesy EDM vocalists on their tracks that everyone else has, and it's cool, but it's just so, it's just being done like an inspiring female vocal singing about how life is. You got to be present, and one more night, and let's dance the night away, and blah blah blah. Like it's the same stuff over and over. So I want to do something different, and I think. If I can sing on my tracks and write lyrics, I think I can really bring something different to the table. And so then the production. Now, the song, which is not out yet, I got to get it mastered, a couple of things like that. I'll give you a taste of what it is right here, right now. Here we go.
You looked at me that day. You told me that I looked okay in a way. This feels so new. The look on your face when I put it inside. Your face, your smile, your lips, yeah.
Alright, that will be out in a week, 2 weeks, something like that. It'll be out soon. You get an email about it if you're on the email list, that is. Now, there's also a longer sneak peek on Instagram if you want to take a look at that. There's a link down in the post below. The last thing is there was a case study on EDM Prod. Now, if you're reading this, you came from the email list, you may have already read this, but if you haven't, it's worth checking out. Sam Matler runs EDM Prod, which is one of the biggest EDM websites on the internet about how to learn how to make electronic dance music, obviously. And so I've been chatting to him every couple of weeks at the moment for the last year now about how to make better songs. And he's been, his words, made more progress, and this was a few months ago now, but more progress in 6 months than most people make in 2 years. So, and that's partly due to him, obviously due to his coaching, but it's a large part of it is the way I approach how I practice and how I write songs, like the writing songs out by hand exercise. Like I'm very systematic and deliberate about what I focus on. I don't just wake up and make stuff every day, or I don't think that sitting in the studio for 12 hours is really even necessary. And I think if you can sit in the studio for 12 hours, you're probably not working hard enough. So yeah, so go to the post, scroll down, there's a link to the case study there on edmprod.com. So that's it for the update, basically. In February this month, I've got to finalize the new track. I will ship it out to you, promote the hell out of it. I really got a good feeling about this one. We'll see. Everyone's either going to be like, man, your voice, it's terrible, or, I don't know. I think if you've ever sang before, I know that I'm going to be very insecure about, because it's my voice and the first time I've done this, I'm going to feel kind of worried like the voice, the vocal isn't good. So I'm keeping in mind that that's just the little voice in my head, the little insecure part of me that's worried about it. And to try and be more objective, I'm kind of like, I don't know what people are not going to like. Maybe they'll love the vocal, maybe they'll hate something else, maybe they'll hate the vocal and love, I don't know. So I'm going to reserve my judgment and just wait and see what feedback I get from people, including you. Now, another article. I interviewed the guy who did all the research on deliberate practice. So I've got to put together a more detailed article. If you enjoy the case study, that is, you'll love this interview because that I did with the scientists behind all this work. Because it's going to allow me to go into much more detail about how you can approach music production and anything in life really to learn faster and more effectively than anyone else. And of course, number 3, I'm going to write another track. So I've got one that's almost done. I just need some vocals, which are coming. So that's me. That's February 2017. I'm going to be in Thailand for most of this year, I have a feeling. I'm hanging out up here in Chiang Mai. It's beautiful right now. So thank you for watching. And if you would like to tell me what you're doing, that'd be cool too. Like drop down in the comments. Let me know what's coming up for you in 2017. Or even just in February. Are you working on a track? Are you practicing something? What are you actually doing? And I'd love it if you've enjoyed this and gotten some value out of it, if you could share this on Facebook, Twitter, share it with some of your producer friends. Maybe there's a production group somewhere. I really believe in getting the word out and really just sharing exactly what I'm doing to improve so we can all get better together. Get better together. Sort of like a cheesy catchphrase. Anyway, thanks for listening. See you next time. Have a great day.